Well, guys, before we get started today, I have to let you know that not everything is as it seems. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the new House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day. And today we are unboxing and reviewing some cool stuff. Or more specifically, one very cool thing. And today's unboxing is going to be a little bit different than usual because even though there is a Slipknot mask in the package that we are going to open, it's not your average Slipknot mask. This is a concept piece. But it's a concept piece based on something that kind of does actually exist. And that'll make more sense a little bit later. But just as a couple of examples as to what I am referring to when I say a concept piece that does kind of already exist versus something that is a straight up replica or a straight up concept piece, I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples from my collection. Now, first of all, I remember when Corey's We Are Not Your Kind / the Insofar baseball skull mask thing debuted. One of the first photos to hit the internet of that thing was edited for some reason, and the mask appeared to have some sort of like face paint marks kind of scarred or skidded across the mask. Those face paint marks were never actually there. Those were added to the photo for some reason, and we can tell because there are other photos from that same show that do not have these marks. However, I do have a replica in my collection of that very piece. So it is based on a photo that was heavily edited and altered and kind of changed the look of the mask, but I do have a replica of the mask in that photo. And another example is going to be the Joey Jordison mask that I have in my collection that is based off of the Joey Jordison Wait and Bleed animated video puppet mask. So it's not a real mask, it's actually just a puppet, but I have a mask based on the puppet's mask. We're getting into just crazy levels of like real fakeception here, and I just hope that what I'm saying makes sense. So with that little disclaimer or context out of the way, let's go ahead and jump on into the package at hand. This comes to us from Slip Studios. I do believe that this is the first item that I have obtained from Slip Studios. So very curious to see how it goes. I don't think that he showed me any sort of progress photos or even finished photos, so this will be the first time that I am seeing the piece. But he hit me up and he was like, hey, I'm working on this thing, would you want it? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And I do have a little area for concept pieces like this, specifically like this. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are concept pieces of things that don't exist, like what would this mask look like modern day instead of just doing a legit modern day replica. We obviously don't know where all of Slipknot's masks are current day, and we don't have reference photos of what they all look like. So there are people out there that will kind of create the image of what they think a certain mask will look like. And then there are also people that are replicating the actual modern day replicas that we have seen. But something like this is a little more niche, and it's kind of weird that I am able to even have a section in my collection for stuff like that, but this is just another piece for that section, and I am going to pull it out and show you guys right now. So what we have here is going to be a very specific All Hope Is Gone Corey that was modeled after a very specific magazine cover. So the magazine at hand is going to be this Metal Hammer magazine from 2011, I believe. And obviously there are some cracks and splits and various cuts on Corey's mask, and it looks really real. Like whoever photoshopped that did a really good job, and a lot of people thought that this was an actual version of Corey's mask. However, it was all just added on in post, but Slip Studios decided to go ahead and replicate that from start to finish and actually put real cracks there. So that is what we have, and I am going to turn it around now and take my first real look at it. So here we go. Very, very cool. I'm afraid that the lighting is a little too harsh for you guys to actually see everything that's going on right here, but it looks absolutely fantastic. All of the weathering underneath of the cracks looks very, very good as well. So I may have to adjust the lighting to let you guys see exactly what I am able to see right here, because the paint job itself is awesome, and then all of the added cracking and slits on there look fantastic as well. Very, very cool. A very nice new kind of concept piece for the collection. So I absolutely dig it, and as someone who really started off just absolutely disliking the ever-loving shit out of Corey's All Hope Is Gone mask, I have most certainly developed an appreciation for it over the years. After I kind of went down the Corey Ahig rabbit hole and started adding replicas of the All Hope Is Gone Corey mask to my collection, I really did start to develop a new appreciation for the mask. And now, honestly, I like it. I know exactly what Corey was going for, and I kind of understand why he used it for so long. And if you ask him, this is his favorite mask that he's ever worn. I know that because I literally asked him that in that interview that we did back in 2017 or something like that. So yeah, dude, I get it, and I think that's rad, and I am super stoked to add another Corey mask to my collection, even if it never technically existed. It does still kind of exist, just on a digital cyberscape. Does that make sense? And I will go ahead and say, just to add to what I just said about the Ahig mask, that I've really developed a new appreciation for All Hope Is Gone as a record and as a cycle for Slipknot. When that CD came to me in the mail, because I did pre-order it, I was so disappointed just from start to finish. I was disappointed with the look. I was disappointed with the kind of like direction that their art directive had taken. It felt very Hot Topic to me, and I was disappointed with the music. But again, I've grown, I've matured, I've done more research about the record, and I honestly can say that I have a newfound, or at least a somewhat recently newfound appreciation for All Hope Is Gone. So yeah, dude, now that that's out of the way, let's focus on this mask. I mean, what can I say about it that I haven't already said so far? I think it's a very cool concept. It's a very interesting one-off piece for me to add to my collection, and it is something that I don't think a lot of people would have ever really thought about, and I think we have the world's first here, which is pretty cool. Great quality. It honestly kind of reminds me of a Sherifian All Hope Is Gone mask, which I do have quite a few of in my collection. I'll have to compare them to see how close they are. But the conversion itself is fantastic. Everything on this is pretty quality. It is a nice thick cast of a mask, heavy duty leather and belt buckles that look absolutely perfect on the back there. And like I said, the finish on this thing is absolutely flawless. So shout out to Slip Studios. Thank you very, very much. I definitely appreciate this piece, and I most certainly look forward to getting it into this little section that kind of doesn't technically exist in this building yet, but will soon, with the other concept of real but not real pieces. I gotta figure out a better way to word that, but there's just no real way to make that make sense. Anyways, looking forward to sticking that over there. So dude, I appreciate it very, very much. Now, if you guys, the viewers of this video, would like to go check out Slip Studio stuff, I will, of course, be putting their information down below in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment to make it nice and easy for you guys to go over there and check them out. Go do that, show them some love, and most importantly, let them know that the House of Masks sent you, so maybe they'll keep hooking us up with cool stuff in the future, okay? Now, with that out of the way, I have one more thank you to give, and that is to you guys, the viewers of this video, the House of Masks audience. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting me every single step of the way, especially through this big move and this big change in the House of Masks life. I don't know. It's been crazy, and I appreciate you guys, especially the people that go over and sign up for Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, quick plug, now, not only if you go over and sign up will you be getting all of the regular incredible rewards that I offer on the daily, but you will also be entered for a chance to win some pretty cool Goosebumps stuff. I recently set up my Goosebumps collection here at the building, and I had a ton of doubles, new stuff, vintage stuff, books, VHS, DVDs, puzzles, you name it. I had a lot of extras, and I think I'm just going to be randomly sending those out to various patrons. So if you guys like vintage Goosebumps, if you like Goosebumps in general, if you like free stuff, if you like the House of Masks, go over and sign up for Patreon. It's only $5 a month. And like I said, you will not only be getting my regular rewards, which are anything but regular. I have the best rewards on Patreon, and I can say that fully unbiased because I am a patron of some of my favorite content creators, and their Patreon accounts just do not compare to mine at all. But you will also have the chance to get some pretty cool stuff showing up in your mailbox, okay? Patreon.com/thehouseofmasks. The link to that is down below as well. Go check it out. And now we can end this video. How? Well, the same way that we end all of the other unboxings and reviews on this channel, and that is with some nice up-close shots of this piece to let you guys see all of the beautiful, beautiful detail up close and personal. So, enough blabbering, let's roll it. Until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to concepts that kind of exist, but not really, and we will see you guys in the next one.